Hey, so what is up guys? Welcome back to another video. And today we're really going to be talking about foldables and where the foldable market stands, specifically leaning more toward the new Samsung Z TriFold that they launched a couple of weeks ago. Now, I've did a couple of headlines on this on YouTube Shorts. So if you guys aren't checking those out, definitely check those out because we've been updating them a little bit more. But the Samsung Z TriFold might actually just be like the game changer or the future of foldables. I'm going to start off with, just some basic specs that are on paper that the phone already has, and then we'll kind of move on to what I think about the phone and some thoughts for the future of possibly a folding lineup. So first of all, let's just start off with the displays. So if you unfold the trifold all the way, you're going to be getting a 10-inch 120 hertz display. When you fold it back in to itself, you're going to be getting a 6.5-inch display. Now this is the same 120 hertz display that is found on the cover screen of the Z Fold 7. So pretty neat that Samsung was able to keep these design elements as well. For the actual processor and RAM, you're going to be getting the Snapdragon 8 for Galaxy. Now this makes sense because it looks like Samsung's been working on this phone for maybe about a year, and so it seems right for them to put the Galaxy 8 chip in. Now, do I think that maybe they should put the Snapdragon 9 in? Probably, but we'll possibly see what happens, in the near future when this phone actually launches in Q1 of 2026. The RAM, so you're going to be getting about 16 gigabytes of LDDR5X RAM, which is going to be very nice whenever you're going to be multitasking on this actual foldable with that 10-inch cover display. For the storage, it's going to be a 512 gigabyte storage for base and then up to about 1 terabyte for full. Now, I will say that there are maybe some speculations from me that this could be a 2 terabyte drive, that we could see 2 terabytes. I think that'd be pretty neat to see. Now, will I say that it will be very expensive? Well, yes, I will. And the phone's already expensive enough. Battery, so I kind of wish that Samsung for the battery went with more of a silicon carbon battery, but they're still going to stick with a lithium battery. This is going to be the biggest battery that's ever been in a Galaxy, coming in at 5,600 milliamp hours. So not only will this phone be a tank, but it will also be a battery house. This phone will have 45-watt wire charging, which actually the brick comes in the box. Normally companies do this for first generation products now, and then they take the brick out for the second or the third generation, as well as because it's a premium device. But 45-watt wired and 15-watt wireless charging. So pretty good. And honestly, it's kind of funny that it does a little bit better than the iPhone, to be honest. Sorry, Apple. The reason why I mentioned that they should have gone with a silicon carbon battery is really just because they could have probably shoved more battery in there, but also could have made the phone maybe thinner. The phone itself is about 3.9 millimeters at its thinnest point, which when folded completely up is about like 12 to 14 millimeters thick. So yes, it is a chunky boy and it is a big phone. Yeah, I see where this is going, you guys. Don't worry, I see where this is going. I think about foldables and the future of what I think about foldables. Let's talk about software. So this phone will be running a version of Android 16 from Galaxy. Now, this is a super cool software build because you can actually use Samsung DeX on it. Now, you can use Samsung DeX on your S25, but the reason why I say DeX is because you can use a version of Samsung DeX on the actual inner display. So you can do all the multitasking, all of the functionality that DeX normally uses, but on your foldable. You can hook up a mouse and keyboard to it. And so it actually really better utilizes that 10-inch display. And as well, you can plug DeX up to your actual monitor and you can use that 10-inch display as a secondary screen for your computing or your work tasks. So whenever Tony Stark, flips out his cool flip phone or whatever and turns it into a computer, that's literally what this trifold has become. It is the coolest thing ever. Now, the other thing that I will say is neat is that it unfolds into a complete 10-inch display. And this isn't a 10-inch square like how we've seen with current foldables, how most of them are 8-inch squares. No, this is a a 10-inch rectangle. And the reason why I think that this is awesome and great is because the software and the capabilities that it offers. It's a lot easier for aspect ratios to be better estimated with a rectangular display. Take YouTube, for example. If you're watching this YouTube video on your iPhone and your iPhone is a rectangle, right? And then you move it over to your iPad is also a rectangle. But if you move it to your foldable, your 8-inch cover, or sorry, 8-inch foldable, it is bigger, than your iPhone screen, but doesn't really maximize or take up as much real estate as if it would if you were using a rectangular screen. And so the aspect ratios for, watching content on a 10-inch foldable will definitely make the world go boom because it will look so much better. And it'll look a lot better as well as it will take up a lot more space, making the image quality look bigger. So I definitely think that aspect ratio does matter here. The prototype. So this phone isn't a prototype. Samsung's already confirmed that this will come out to the US in Q1 of 2026. It's already been released in some other parts of the country. I think one of them being Korea, where Samsung obviously is from. The phone itself from other creators has been imported for about $2,500. So this phone could possibly be the $2,500 to the $3,000 mark. Now, I will mention that Samsung is not the first company to do this. Huawei did this with like the Mate XT, where they made a Z Fold or a Z TriFold, where it was folded into a Z, which I definitely find it interesting that Samsung didn't want to go with that design profile. But if you look more into the Huawei Z Fold and how it trifolds like a Z, you can use half of the display. So it'd be like an 8-inch unfolded display, and then you can unfold it to a 10-inch display. But if you're using that 8-inch display mode, the actual phone, we'll just say the other display is going to be in the elements. So if you put it on a table, that other display might get scuffed up or something like that, your back display. And so I definitely think Samsung might have played a good card by going for just the regular traditional trifold that opens up like a pamphlet. I think that's smart. Will I say that the screen integrity is very weak? Yes. If you look at the second hinge that Samsung has added, the crease might look a little bit bigger, but it's not even just that. It's that the display is a lot softer than the actual Z Fold. So it's definitely one of those prototype models that Samsung is working on. Let me know what you guys think about the Z TriFold. Do you think it's the future? Do you think that people are actually going to want to pull out a full computer tablet from their pocket, be able to plug it up to a monitor, use DeX? But let me know what you guys think about this whole, trifold. And if you guys haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button down below. It really helps out the channel a lot. But until the next one, you guys, I'll see you around. So yeah, peace.